have one? Oh, you have one. Yep. There it is. I used to know it kind of mosh too. I learned it recently.
Well, I thought it was a gypsy.
Today we're here at the Museum of Life and Science, and then I'm just going to pass that off to you, and you're just going to Hey everyone, this is Dr. Drizzle coming to you live from the Museum of Life and Science in Durham, North Carolina. We are very excited that the museum allowed us to film today from their beautiful Magic House butterfly, Magic Wings butterfly house. Just a wonderful day here. This is as real as it gets. Dr. Drizzle here wearing a tobacco hornworm that will eventually turn into a moth. Right now he's behaving. I'm hoping he stays here and not crawls toward my chin, but we're going to call him Steve. That's who I'm going to name him today. And we are here with two educators from the Museum of Life and Science. A couple questions I want to answer before we get started. We are going to be tweeting out today. You can tweet to @Daisha92 and @Life and Science. Checking my microphone here. I think we're good. Are we good? It's upside down. Well, I can fix that. So we'll hang on just a second and get that fixed. But @Daisha92 and @Life and Science. You can also let us know on YouTube if you're watching. To you with them on our website. But Anna and Molly, thank you so much for coming. Yes, I'm hoping a butterfly lands on me. We already have one that's landed over here on Anna, and he's. Let me go ahead and get a question from the students. Is how long does it take for a butterfly to hatch, Anna?
So it depends on the species of butterfly. A butterfly could stay in its chrysalis for a few days, or it could stay up to a few months. For example, a monarch butterfly would fly over the winter, so it could be in there for up to 6 months.
Wow, that's very interesting. At the beginning of the year, we worked with the Journey North organization and we hatched monarchs, which were very hard to hatch on them. So we know where they landed in North. This next come from. So Molly, there's the question every parent's afraid to answer, but where do those butterflies come from?
Butterfly, and they start out very small. Steve here.
Oh, where is he? Okay.
He's have any caterpillars because they live and feed and grow in the tropical habitats of the museum after they've turned into a chrysalis, and you can see them hanging behind a window here in the conservatory, and if you watch carefully.
So sort of like the nursery in a hospital. You can go in there and sort of see them before they come out. I love that. Girls, I need you to keep up. I need you to let me know because we'll be calling Uli up there to get him off. So our next question is, it's a math one. So you need to know how many species of butterfly live in North Carolina?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have 174 known species of butterflies in North Carolina, and that includes anything from tiger swallowtails to monarchs to painted ladies.
So I don't even know what just flew in front of you, but that was a beautiful blue butterfly. Oh,
So
what was that?
It might have actually been one of our blue morpho butterflies
Blue
from South
morpho
America.
butterflies. I like that. If you're wondering who I'm talking to, we have Dr. Uli Hart, not sure about.
Yeah.
We're going to ask him. And now we've just been handed we have the caterpillar and we have the butterfly. So we are sporting pretty much a complete. With this, I'm sure a bell will ring or something like that. So Anna, now that we know sort of how they come and how long do they live?
Right, so once a butterfly gets through its egg phase and its caterpillar phase and its chrysalis phase, an adult butterfly month. Less than that when they have to face dangers like large objects like cars, but normally the smallest species of butterflies are going to live for a few days, and a few types of butterflies like the monarch could actually live up to about 9 months as an adult.
Very cool. Well, that just made me think of something. When I came in, the first thing I wanted to do was hold a butterfly. And I've heard that's probably not the best thing to do is grab butterflies.
Right, exactly. If you were to visit the conservatory, you never want to touch a butterfly on its wings. It has very delicate scales that you can disturb. If you are trying to get a butterfly to land on yourself, you generally just want to hold out your hand and wait for it to land on you.
Nice, very nice. So I'm wearing a hornworm that's going to turn into a moth, and you're wearing a butterfly. So
yes,
what is the difference between a butterfly and a moth, Molly?
That's a family of insects called Lepidoptera.
That's easy for you to say, Lepidoptera. I like
those scales covering their wings. That's actually what Lepidoptera means.
Okay.
So one of the main differences between moths and butterflies is that moths will build an extra layer of protection around their silk cocoon.
Okay.
Only moths make cocoons.
Now that's very interesting, because I think maybe we thought that butterflies also have those cocoons, that extra piece.
Right.
Very good to know.
So butterflies don't have that extra layer of protection like we can see on this chrysalis here. And each chrysalis looks very different depending on what species the butterfly is. Also, moths are usually active in the daytime. So if you see something flying around, it's most likely a butterfly, even though there are more than 10 times as many moth species here in North Carolina as there are butterfly species.
Right. So when I'm camping outside at night and I have the fire or a lantern going, those little winged creatures that are flying towards me are probably moths then, because that's the active ones, right?
There are other bugs that are attracted to light, but you're right, they're probably moths.
Excellent, excellent. So I know that I haven't eaten lunch yet, and normally I get a little cranky when that happens, but the next question is about what butterflies eat. So we know it's not a drive-through at Zaxby's or McDonald's. What do our butterflies eat?
Most butterflies drink nectar out of flowers using their tongue, which works a lot like a straw.
Nice.
There are a few types of butterflies that never visit flowers, and instead they might eat tree sap or fruit or some decaying material on the ground. Caterpillars, which are baby butterflies, mostly eat plants, so they might eat leaves or seeds or seed pods or flowers. Here in our conservatory, our butterflies are eaters. We have both kinds here.
Excellent. I know students, that ones of you that were doing the Monarch Watch Challenge with us, we had a hard time locating milkweed, and we called some local botanists, and they talked about how milkweed had been limited in. So we were really working on trying to get more milkweed seeds planted in next year for our. Great question. I'm not sure if this student has been to a wedding before where he saw this happen, but his question was, this is Juan's question, around, can you release butterflies at weddings? Now we know you can, we've seen it, but why should we do that, or why should we not do that?
Yes, so it's a great question, because you can release butterflies at weddings, but you need to be very careful when you do. So first of all, you want to make sure if you're releasing butterflies that they are native to the environment that you're releasing them into. Also, you want to make sure that those butterflies were well cared for and that they're healthy when you release them into a wild population. And finally, you want to make sure that the season or the time of year that you're releasing them is appropriate for that butterfly. So for example, if you had painted ladies that were raised in a warm indoor environment and they had plenty of food to eat, and then you release them in a colder season, they wouldn't be able to find the food that they need to eat, the plants that they need to eat, and the weather wouldn't be appropriate for them.
Okay, so although it's a beautiful thing to do, bubbles will work just as well, right?
That's true.
Excellent job. So let's go back to
so that the caterpillar that hatches from those eggs will have something to eat. and it could lay it on different parts of that plant. Stalk. And we're not quite sure all the different species of plants that a particular species of butterfly might like, but at least in North Carolina, we know that our butterflies are attracted to plants like the milkweed you talked about, or like parsley, or sunflowers, or marigolds.
Had I known sunflowers, I would have gotten some of those instead of trying to find all that milkweed. So another question for us, I had to interpret the question because the question was, can butterflies smell? So I thought they meant, can you smell butterflies? But he was very adamant. He wants to know, can they smell like us? Surely they can't do that.
Well, you're partially right, because butterflies don't smell like us, but they do have a sense of smell. They have chemical receptors on their antenna and also on their feet that help them to smell.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Nice. So, wow. So if they're overlanding on me in a minute, they can probably smell me with their feet.
Using their feet, that's right.
Excellent. What a cool way to do that. So I'm going to invite our other expert into the camera for just a moment and ask a few more questions. So we're going to ask that you come over, Uli, and put you on the spot, but we know you are the keeper of butterflies and the director of all things winged. So first of all, I want to ask you, what's your favorite species of butterflies? Now, listen, they're listening to you, so be careful because they will be upset later.
Well, I would say it's the blue morpho, and I have to add, all the butterflies are in only the tropical species, and that's the blue morpho. It's beautiful. It flew through the wind. Say that's the one.
So how do you decide which butterflies are going to live here?
We have actually agreements with butterfly farms to send us these pupae. They have been doing this for the last 12, 15 years, sending us pupae from that farm, and they basically know what they can produce in large enough numbers and quality and survival rates and all that, so that they are more or less deciding what they send us.
Okay.
And we have a list of species that we're allowed legally to import because these are plant pests that come in with a permit. And that's the decision, those are the decisions makers.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to ask the same three questions of all of you, so get ready, okay? When you were in school, what was your favorite subject and why?
Biology and chemistry was mine. And I built upon that by going to a field that included everything in agriculture. So
Okay.
it just includes all that. And I just liked it. I guess I was surrounded by nature to some degree and always liked it.
Thank you. Molly, what about you?
I have to say chemistry was also my favorite subject.
So that's the science, boys and girls. So most of the kids watching this today are K-5 students. So chemistry and biology are not their normal named sciences, but anything that has to do with changes, solids, liquids, and gases would kind of help you with that chemistry. And anything we study that's live, that's going to be your biology part, right? And Anna, what about you? Your favorite?
Right, so while I loved my different science classes, chemistry and biology, I do have to say that I also really loved my English class because I love writing stories. And some of those skills that I got in that class have really give that information to people in a way that they can understand.
Absolutely. Like when I gave you the questions, you had to do some research and come up with some questions or some answers that our students could understand. So students, you heard that. On our reading, our writing, and our math skills, because you too could become an educator at the Museum of Life and Science when you get older. So I want to remind you about our Twitter. Even though our show is getting ready to end, we want the tweets to keep coming in. Remember, Dr. Drizzle is always looking for those great tweets to reward a prize to. So if you're tweeting out, it's at Dacia92. Go ahead and tag the Museum of Life and Science in there. I'm sure that Leslie Pepples, who helped us today, would love to hear that. I also want to thank very much Tyra Dixon and Prashant, who are my wonderful film roadies that are here with us. You can't see them because they're behind the camera, but believe me, you wouldn't be seeing any of this if it weren't for them. Molly and Anna and Uli, thank you so much for letting us come out today. Leslie, thank you for making this possible. It has been a wonderful day. I know our kids have enjoyed it. And I want to encourage parents to bring your students out to the Museum of Life and Science. Over 80 acres, help me, 84 acres of indoor and outdoor space. In a couple years, a brand new exhibit's coming here. Just a lot of fun things, a great wholesome activity for you to do with your students. So thank you again for everybody coming. Thank you for those that are watching in Durham and outside of Durham. Dr. Drizzle, out. Amazing. Didn't have to look at your notes and everything. Work on that for me. Thank you. Oh, I forgot he was there. Excellent.
Yeah, this guy